Oh my god, I knew that was you. Hong Yo, Squid Game.
Squid Game. The show that was pretty much the Stanley Cup of 2021, where when it was released, games, reactions, and recreations of the show came from it. 603 million views is wild. Holy fuck. Then as the attention died out, I completely forgot about the show. So I decided to rewatch it. Why? I don't know, man. I was just kind of bored. But apparently the next season is actually like coming out pretty soon, so this was actually pretty big for me. But I do feel like with pretty much every show, as soon as it gets popular, there's always just a bunch of people that feel the need to hate on it. And that's the same thing with Squid Game. This show is easily one of my favorites, and I pray they don't fuck up on season 2. But for season 1, it was great. And before I rant, I'm gonna just preface this. I'm fucking slow, so don't expect me to completely understand everything. So what's my opinion on Squid Game? I'm gonna be honest, it fucking kicks ass. It's easy to follow. It has a psychological connection to the real world, as nerdy as that fucking sounds. And you can easily really like get attached to the show. You don't really have to force yourself to watch it, where I find myself doing that just a lot with shows, and Squid Game is one of those shows where I just don't really need to do that. And I love the characters too, like Gi-hyun, which is the main guy, has his like moments of selfishness, but was overall, I guess, the most sane of the characters. Sang-woo, I fucking hate him. I hate him a lot, but I guess you could still like understand his intention behind what he does. And Se-byuk, can we just get a moment of silence real quick? Okay, anyway, she was good, and her presence low-key just made this show way better. Like, her cold self, then slowly shifting into a more selfless person throughout the game was just quality. And one presence that I feel like I personally like a lot was the detective. I feel like he answers some like background questions within like the storyline, like how the game has pretty much been around for a while, and you know, there's an actual hierarchy to the shapes, etc, etc. It's also interesting seeing the frontman being his brother, though I don't really know how that fucking completely plays a role in the whole plot of things. And also, I have a feeling that those pictures at the end actually did go to the police, but I feel like with the frontman saying like, oh yeah, Korean police aren't really gonna do shit about it, I feel like that's what's gonna take place in season 2. Like, it's gonna be some like dark web conspiracy theory type of reaction, I guess. And talking about the frontman, he was interesting, and out of the questions I have, he's one of the like top ones that I have directed towards, because sure, he was the winner of the previous match, but how does that really tie into the whole show, and what type of power does he really have? And the VIPs as well, like, who really are they? I know the host of the show has to know them to some sort of degree. At first my prediction was that they sort of just made the game together, but some of the VIPs are just way too young for that to be true. So who the fuck are they? Like, are they really that important, or are they like only the like quote-unquote betters on the quote-unquote horses? And since they left their mask there, wouldn't that also mean that they're gonna be replaced by different betters, or are they gonna be coming back to get them? That's all fucking weird. But again, I really hope season 2 can sort of just answer all of those questions, because I think from my standpoint, the participants within the game, like the actual players, their stories I feel like were pretty much completely told. It's only really the higher ups, such as the frontman, VIPs, and the salesman, that haven't really been told. And that's another thing, like, who the fuck is the salesman? Like, has he participated in the game once? Because with his like shit-eating grin, I feel like he has some sort of like he's a major character. Now let's talk about the, I guess, psychological aspect of the game. Obviously, it was a way to kind of give the poor a second chance at this unfair life with a quote-unquote fair game. It sort of just tests how much the contestants really want at this second chance, I guess. And again, this definitely shows a peak of truth with like real life, because no shit, everyone sort of just chases money, and this show kind of just shows the amount of, I guess, dehumanization people are kind of willing to go through for money. But this by no means backs up the old man being like quote-unquote good, because his reasoning of life becoming boring does not back up manipulating people into this fucking sick-ass game. Sick-ass meaning like fucked up, not like, you know, just have fun. Especially since his whole idea was this game to be like equal, when it really just isn't. For example, the glass game, the explanation of the game had no inclusion of the explosion at the end. And with this, my girl, I mean, fucking Sabyok got injured, obviously way more than the rest of the characters. So how the fuck is that fair? Hey, look, she's still alive, trust. But anyway, there are other reasons at that, such as how cheating gets punishment, yet when this dude got caught with his knife, or with Sabyok's knife, he was never really punished. Like, there's plenty of other reasons, but those are kind of like the main two that really kind of pop in my head right now. But obviously, this is a corrupt game, and I don't doubt that these elements were sort of just put in the show to sort of just show how that is and how the system works. But like, for certain reasons, yeah, I'm not a fan. The music as well is also just a big standout for me. I think like the main aspect for me personally are like the recorders. Like, I used to play these fucking things in like elementary school. Wait, is it like try to call back to like childhood and using them? And because the games are like kiddish? For me personally, I've never seen like a recorder in actual music, so like I think it might be plausible. Holy fuck, I have like more respect now if that is the case. But my favorites are for sure like the sad-ish songs. Obviously, since I'm emo and shit, these ones stand out for me. Like, sure, these kid-ish songs kind of show the youth behind the games, as the host kind of mentions that these were the games that he played as a kid. But the sad ones sort of just show like the human aspect of it and the actual reality of what the characters kind of have to go through. But again, I'm like the lone wolf and shit, so these ones, like, no matter what, always just kind of stick with me. So I can't lie, randomly I just feel sick. Like, I have a stuffy nose all of a sudden, so if I like start sniffing, now you know why, I guess. I don't really know what to tell you. But anyway, as I'm like editing this video, I swear I've encountered way more like Squid Game related things. It just kind of feels that despite the show being like 3-ish years old, which is kind of crazy to say, it's sort of just, I guess, integrated into our society, I guess. I don't really fucking know. I feel like it's sort of like in the internet's culture now, if that makes any sense. Because I feel like we always ask ourselves what we do for not only money, but like if the world had like no rules. And I kind of feel like, oh my god, this fucking sickness is catching up to me. And I feel like this show sort of just shows a realistic answer to both of those questions. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now because I'm tired. And my sickness is just gonna get like shittier. I give Squid Game a solid, or I guess a light 8, I would say. As a show, I feel like there are many unanswered questions, and I feel like season 2 could easily answer them. But season 1 itself, and by itself, is extremely good, and even to this day. And before my departure, these are my final good old predictions. The salesman is related to the host somehow, maybe like the son or grandson or some shit, or he's just a fucking major power within the whole game. And Sabyok is still alive. She has to be alive. Why would she be dead? I mean, they burned her box, but they didn't show her body, you feel me? Like, they showed Ali's body, but not Sabyok's body. Sabyok, I don't really know. Yeah, I'm gonna just stop fucking talking. That has been me. Subscribe if you'd like, and yeah, have a good night. See ya.